and then stop at the first breakpoint. So and then I can continue execution here. That's fine. So I can continue here. But if I don't put anything inside the code and I press F5, you will get into the solution that just execute it and then bang, it's just gone. And I wanted to stop, but when you have a console application and you execute it with Control F5, then the compiler will automatically add this waiting for the next keyboard input. So Control F5 is just giving you this. So that's a huge difference. Most of the time when I'm executing something, I will do it with the Control F5 because I'm only doing debugging when I need debugging. Otherwise, it will be waste of my time because I have to wait for the debugger to start up and blah blah blah. I don't. If I just need to execute it to see what's the output, I can just do Control F5. So yeah. So the output here is just the type of the so you get the type. We have the type is a system int32 array. So that's what it is mapping to. So we talked about that last time. It's mapping into .NET types. In this case, int in C# is mapping into an int32. That's the 32-bit integer inside the array. So it's not the case that it will just write the array out. So if you wanted to write it out, you need to do it yourself. So one simple way to do that is just to do a for each loop over the x variable, and then just write out that instead. And again, I made the application do most of the work. I want to do it again. So I just write for each, and then tab. It will automatically hop to the collection I want to loop over. So I press X, and then I tab again, and then it will go to the type I want to get out. So this var is fine, and then it will go to the variable name. I can change that whatever I like it to be, and then I tab again, and I will be inside this for loop. So use that. It's rather helpful. Just remove that. So if I execute this again, you see I get a lot of integers. I actually did the wrong thing here. I still writing out x. I should actually write out I in order to get the output. Yeah. So now we have the output. Any questions this far? Again, if you can't follow along, or if you choose to just see instead of doing it yourself, I will upload this to the web page later. Let's formalize this and make a new function called public void. Oh, it should be static also. I assume that you know why. Do you know why it should be static? Why this? I want to do this print thing. It takes an int array as an argument. Why should it be static? Do you know that? So what I want to do is this. I want to take that and put it here. And instead of x, just put a there. So I want this function, I want to call it here. Print x. So now I have something that can print out array. So why did it need to be static?
I think so. You can call it once in a class if it's static.
Oh, that's not the reason here. So
otherwise, you have to create an instance of the class program.
Yeah.
You're not currently running in the instance.
No, I'm not running an instance. I'm running. So, and I want to call it from inside this static function up here, and it's not possible from a static function because the static function is not assigned to any object. So I cannot call. I need to call static functions from static functions. That's the method. That's the it's not something to do with C#. It's something to do with object-oriented programming. So it's the same in Java or whatever. So that's, you don't have an instance now. So this will just do exactly the same as it did before. So let's try to write that sort function we saw before. So we want to sort this in some way. So public void static need to be static. I want to call it again here. I want somehow to say sort x. Yeah, probably not that. I want to somehow be able to say sort and then x should be sorted. Somehow. That's my idea. So I need to have a static, again, because I'm calling it from inside a static function. Static void. I don't know if it's void in yet, but anyway. And it takes an integer array as an argument. And somehow I want to sort it. I don't know if I'm actually. My thoughts here is this example actually making the point? So I want to change my point of view here. I want to not to the only thing you have to do is create a new name. So I actually want to make a function called map. So instead of having sort here, I want to call it something that's called map. And it should actually return, so I want to have a so the map should map one array into another array. So the reason the reason was I don't want actually to make something very complicated in here, and if the only thing I could do now was actually call an internal function. And then it doesn't make the point. So otherwise we had to write a sorting function, and that would be a little bit too much for the example. So do you know this idea of mapping something from one state into another state? You know? What anybody else know? So we are mapping. So the idea is, for instance, say what we want to do is to call map here with a function, and then. That function can map. So, for instance, we want to take this list of integers and then map it into another list of integers where we, for instance, add 1 to each number, square each number, or whatever. So that's a mapping. So we are taking the one array as an input, and then we do some operation on each element in the array, and then the output will be a new array with that manipulation. Follow that idea? So somehow this one needs to take an argument here. We need to be able to take as an input, as an input an integer, and as an output an integer. So this is the case. So we want to do something with that integer. So we need to make a func that take in as an input and in as an output. Just call it if. So that's my argument. So what I want to do is I want to create a new array that's the same size as the array of the input array. And then what I want to do is I want to run through each element in the array and then do some manipulation on that element, and then I want to return that. Do you get that idea? So I want to create a new should be a.count. Is that not possible? So what is the size? Oh, it's not. It's the length one. Yeah. I'm working in so many different languages, and they always have different So I just want to create this this array. Then I will do a for each. No, that was the 4. I need to have for each on the A. Is it possible for me to undo this? Is it okay if I undo this? Because I actually want to do a for loop. Do you know why? Because I want to do something on each element here, but I want to assign it to the right element in the output, and I don't know the index yet. And then if I do like this, I only know the element, so I don't know the index. So I need to have the index, and the easy way to get the index is just to have a for loop with an int I equals 0, I less than. Otherwise, I want to take each of the elements here. I will execute that function on each element, and then the output, I want to assign that to the result. So when I take the first element in the input array, I want to put it in the first element in the output array, and do that all the way. So I need to be able to match that. And right now, when I'm doing for each loop, I don't have an index. So I have to go, sorry for that. So I have to do for like this. So somehow I want to take the result at position I to be equal to the function run on A on position I. I don't know what that function is at all, and then return result. So this is the it should not be a void anymore up here. It should be an int array. So think about it here. I have made a function that is very generic. It doesn't know anything about what you want to do on each of the element, but it actually provides you with the possibility of doing whatever you want to do on each element, and then save that into another array, and then you can easily map the first array into another array. So, of course, I need to produce. I need to give it a second argument. See, it needs an argument that takes an integer and do something. Something that takes an integer as an argument and return an integer. That's the. I need to do that. So I can do that by saying whatever y, and then y plus 1. Something like that. That's a very simple one. Okay, so now if you haven't seen Lambda before, then it can be very mystified by this. Okay, that's why. Anyone able to explain this? What would happen now? What would be the output? Do you know that? Hey, I know you know. Anybody else have a clue what would be the output here? Yeah, I haven't compiled it, I haven't run it, but I hope, what is the teacher hoping will be the output of this? So, can anyone explain what is y up here? Do you know that? Anybody? Please? Pete, do you know?
On line 25, we call the function there, the weird lambda function with the equal bigger than. Yeah, we call it with an integer from the array first, and then the function on line 14. The weird lambda function, it returns the integer from the array plus 1.
Plus 1, yeah.
So I would take the array on line 12 and just add 1 to every single
Yeah.
integer.
Just add 1 to each of them.
Yeah.
So the mystic, the weird part is that y up here. That's just a reference point. There's no. You just need to come up with a name that makes sense. You choose the name yourself. It doesn't. The only reference is only referencing from here to here. Doesn't use anywhere else. It's used exactly here, because every time this function is called, and that's the function here, it will assign to the input of that function, that's the y, the value of the current value of ai, so the I element in A. So the first time it will be 2, the next time it will be 5, and 6, and 7, and so on. It will assign that, and then it will execute what's on the other side. So first time it will assign 2, and we'll execute that. That will be 2 plus 1, and we will return 3. So when I is 0, this one will be 2, and what we put into this array will be 3. Then next time you will assign 5 to y, and then execute that one, it returns 6, and then we'll add 6 to this one. Do you get this point? It's important. It's important to get this idea, because we will do this all the time from now on. We'll never ever do anything without a lambda expression anymore. But yeah.
Okay, line 14, or the variable result. We have x and we have y and we have arrow.
So this is one argument and this is one argument.
So x and y are separate from the ones at the right side.
So x here is this array.
Yeah.
Y, this is a function that takes an argument, an input, and do something with that input. So y is the only thing. Y is not used here at all. It's used down here.
Could you just say y is equal?
No. So you mean this one here?
Yeah.
That one is the lambda keyword, lambda operator. That's very important, because what you could have done here instead is actually to make a delegate that takes as an input and return. I think it should be int return y plus 1, and then a semicolon. So this is the same information. So I would create a small anonymous function here that takes as an input an integer, and then execute something and return the result here. That's precisely the same thing. I could have done it like this. I could have created a delegate up here. Delegate whatever. No good names here. So that's the delegate, and I could have used that as an argument for. This is actually for, instead of using this one down here, and then I could have created any function here that used this. I could have created a function here like int whatever. And then I could have used, I actually want to remove this one here because it's not that useful here because it's a different one. So I have this do something, and I can just use that here. Instead of this one, I can just do yeah, I think I have a problem with whatever. whatever. Something like, I don't know, it's probably something like that. Yeah, so it needs to be static because I'm calling it inside. So that's the three different ways I can use these. I can send a function across to another function. So that's my purpose. I want to get as an input a function that takes an integer as an argument and return an integer. So I can do it either by sending in a function that's already defined, like the do something. I can create a delegate, as you saw it before, or I can create a lambda expression. It's precisely the same thing. The reason for doing the lambda expression is because then I can just do y plus 1, and I can just, I don't need to have this one. Otherwise, if I'm passing a function, I need to define the function first. That can be fine, but most of the time, when you just have a very simple function like this one, it will be just a waste of time first creating it and then using it as in the call statement. I just create it right away, and the nice part is that it's created where it's used. So it's created right there where I use it, instead of having it defined somewhere else in the code and then used in another place, and I have to switch back and forth to understand what's going on. Now I can see everything. So it's just syntactic sugar. Syntactic sugar for doing this, the anonymous delegate. So the compiler will translate that into a delegate that can be called. So it's just sugar. Nice sugar. Because it makes the code easier to. In the first place, it's confusing, but it makes the code easier to understand later on. Have you tried to run it? And will it run? So, execute 3, 6, 7, 8. So it's actually adding 1 to each of them. I can just print out the original array, so you can see that that's actually what happened. So. So it's splitting here. So instead of 2, we have 3. So of course this is not that magic. The magic part is, yeah, but it was not 2. I actually wanted to do something else. And the only thing I have to do is go here and say, oh, it's actually 5 I want to add. And then I just execute it again. And now it's adding 5 to each element. So that's it.
Yeah.
Or what about the square the elements instead? So now they are squared, starting here. Or whatever operation you want to do, so you can map it to whatever you like. Of course, the only thing you can map it to is to integers, but later on we'll see you can map it. LINQ makes it very, very smart. You use the smart stuff so you can map it to anything. Do you understand this? Okay, it's weird, difficult to understand, I know that, but important. That's why I'm using this time on it, because I know that you need to get this into your mind. This is just a function that takes something as an input, and that's something we just call it y. Because we need to be able to reference it. So we get something, we just call it y, and then we just say whatever we get squared. If I get 5, say 5 plus 5, 5 times 5. If I get 6, whatever. So the y doesn't matter. I can call it anything. The only thing is there needs to be the same argument on each side. And so this is the input variable. It's like a function name, the parameter in the function. So it needs to be the same, but it doesn't change any code down here. I can call it whatever I like. So I just need to call it something that makes sense in the context. That's also nice. I can actually define that with some interesting information. If I know this is, for instance, something like the length of something, I can just call it that. Don't want to write that 2 times. So I can make that understandable from the context where I'm creating that small function instead of having a function created outside.
And it's like x is an input. Like
Yeah, x is the input.
Is the
That's the. If I want to change that to instead, that's just the input. So Control R 2 times. I was here and I did Control R and R again. I'm getting refactoring. Control R, Control R. I just keep Control down and press R twice, and escape is up if I want to get out of that. But otherwise, R, and then I can change it into whatever I like, and it will change all the instances of that variable. So that's the input to the math function. It takes an integer array, and then a function that will execute on each element. We're not doing this a lot because lambda is there, and that will do all. You can do that. All this can be done with lambda without anything. But I think you need to have a break to get some oxygen to the brain and some coffee to your heart and whatever. It's needing that. So let's take 10 minutes break. You want me to upload the first version already, or is it
Yes,
should I
please.
wait until we have? We want me to upload that? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I told you.